यूएनओ बेअसर दिखाई देती है। इस पे गलबा है तो अमेरिका का गलबा है।
जिन पावर्स ने ये ऑर्गेनाइजेशन बनाई थी, दे वर नॉट फेथफुल टू द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ कलेक्टिव सिक्योरिटी एनविसेज्ड इन द चार्टर।
जब यूएनओ का वजूद में आना वो इस बात की गमाजी करता था कि हमने आगे फ्यूचर में खूनरेजी को रोकना है, जंगों को रोकना है, पीस को मेंटेन करना है।
The Security Council was born toothless.
वियतनाम की जंग आप वो ले लें या आप अरब इजराइल जंग ले लें आप आके, तो इन तमाम वाक़यात के पस मंज़र में इन बड़ी कुव्वतों के मफादात रहे हमेशा।
Whenever a country poses threat to this multi-state system, the major powers would coordinate and take action against that state.
At the moment you see lot of bloodshed and all over protest in the world, not only from the Muslims but even from the Israeli Jews in America. They are protesting, bombing the hospitals, bombing schools, bombing mosques. Don't you think it is against the violation of Geneva Convention?
Only superpower at the moment, that is the USA, it is fully supporting Israeli.
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। नाज़रीन, प्रोग्राम वर्ल्ड इन फोकस में अब्दुल बासित ख़ान आपको खुश आमदीद कहता है। नाज़रीन, इस वक्त आप देख रहे हैं कि फ़लस्तीन में गाज़ा में जो इस वक्त खूनरेज़ी हो रही है, इट इज़ अनप्रेसिडेंटेड इन द हिस्ट्री। जो मुसलमान बच्चे, औरतें, बूढ़े शहीद हो रहे हैं, जिस तरह स्कूलों, कॉलेजों और साथ हॉस्पिटल्स पे बमबारी हो रही है, कभी ऐसे मनाज़र हमने आज तक ना कभी सोचे थे ना कभी देखे थे। लेकिन लोग देख रहे हैं अक़वाम मुत्तहिदा की तरफ, लेकिन यूएनओ की तरफ से कुछ नहीं आ रहा। यूएनओ बेअसर दिखाई देती है। इस पे गलबा है तो अमेरिका का गलबा है। अमेरिका बेड़े भी रवाना कर रहा है, फ़ौजी सामान भी दे रहा है, और एक ऐसा सिनारियो आ रहा है जैसे कि शायद वो गज़ा को पूरे के पूरा कब्रिस्तान बना देना चाहते हैं। इस पर आज हम गुफ्तगू करना चाहेंगे कि आखिर जब ये यूएनओ का वजूद आया, यानी 1945 में रूज़वेल्ट के दौर में, और इसका इजलास भी कैलिफोर्निया में हुआ, सैन फ्रांसिस्को में, तो उसका मकसद तो ये था ना कि जंग को रोका जाए, मुल्क में, दुनिया में अमन कायम किया जाए। लेकिन what is happening now? So we have with us today Mr. Masud. He is basically a legal expert from the Foreign Office. International law के बड़े माहिर हैं माशाल्लाह, और लीगल फ्रेमवर्क ऑफ द डिफरेंट चार्टर्स के भी इनको सब मालूम है कि किस तरह बने हैं, यूएनओ किस तरह वजूद में आई है। तो ही इज़ विद अस टुडे एंड वी विल आस्क हिम कि इस तमाम तर सूरत अहवाल के बाद क्या आगे होने जा रहा है, इनकी एक्सपर्ट ओपिनियन लेंगे। वेलकम टू द शो सर।
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be with you. Briefly, I was legal advisor in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and for 3.5 years, I was Assistant Secretary General, Asian African Legal Consultative Organization in New Delhi. Basically, my expertise is in the area of international law, international trade law, and international organizations. Now,
मेरा सर आपसे ये सवाल है कि जब यूएनओ का वजूद में आना वो इस बात की गमाजी करता था कि हमने आगे फ्यूचर में खूनरेजी को रोकना है, जंगों को रोकना है, पीस को मेंटेन करना है, क्या वो मकसद हासिल हुआ?
वो बहुत कम हद तक हासिल हो चुका, और उसकी वजह बेसिकली ये है कि जिन पावर्स ने ये ऑर्गेनाइजेशन बनाई थी, they were not faithful to the concept of collective security envisaged in the Charter. As a matter of fact, all the major powers, they were to enter into agreements with the UN Security Council under Article 43 of the Charter and place forces at the disposal of the Security Council. But none of the major powers entered into any such agreement, and thus the Security Council was born toothless. And as a matter of fact, the very structure of the United Nations is oligarchic in nature, in the sense that the five major powers, they have permanent seats in the Security Council and they enjoy veto. Hence, if any of the major powers finds it not in its interest, it brings the Security Council to a standstill. It cannot take any action without the consent of all the major powers of the world.
अच्छा सर, ये जो 1945 के अब जब यूएनओ बनी है, उसके बाद दुनिया ने और भी बहुत बड़े बड़े ऐसे हालात देखे जहाँ पर खून रेजियाँ हुई, जहाँ पर जंगें हुई। वियतनाम की जंग आपको ले लें या आप अरब इज़राइल जंग ले लें आप आके, तो इन तमाम वाक़यात के पस मंज़र में इन बड़ी क़ुव्वतों के मफादात रहे हमेशा गालिब, और इन्हीं बड़ी क़ुव्वतों को वीटो भी दे दिया गया। तो फिर अक़वाम मुत्तहिदा तो इज़ टूथलेस।
एक्चुअली इसमें हमें ये समझने की ज़रूरत है कि ये यूएन बनी कैसे थी।
जी।
इसकी हिस्ट्री ये है कि बेसिकली इट्स एन एवोल्यूशन ऑफ द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ यूरोप principle, which was that the major powers of the European continent, they decided that in order to maintain this multi-state system of Europe, we will coordinate with each other, and whenever a country poses threat to this multi-state system, the major powers would coordinate and take action against that state in order to maintain multi-state system of Europe. Now, after First World War, there was a lot of yearning for peace because there were a lot of killings, and at that time, America was also involved in the war, and they set up this League of Nations. But the League of Nations had a very egalitarian structure in the sense that under Article 16 of the Covenant of the League of Nations, any action can be taken by a state in the event of an aggression on any of the member states. And this was not acceptable to USA, and USA never became a party to the League of Nations. And hence, when the Charter was being negotiated after Second World War, they made it sure that we enjoy preeminent position in the organization. And the oligarchic structure of the Charter owes itself to this feeling of the major powers. They enjoy permanent seats in the Security Council, and they have veto power. And once they exercise veto, the Security Council cannot take any.
That means that the power rests with all these five superpowers.
True, you're right. But you see, the fact is that as far as the resolutions on Kashmir are concerned, they were passed by the Security Council, and there was no exercise of veto. From 1948 till 1957, there were a number of resolutions of the Security Council which called for holding of a fair and independent plebiscite under the auspice of the United Nations. And in fact, both Pakistan and India, they subscribed to these resolutions. And they have this international commitment to honor that. But unfortunately, as it happens, the power politics in the world takes its own course, and with the passage of time, India has become a very prominent power in the region, and all the major powers, they are not interested in annoying it. And therefore, there is no move for the enforcement of these resolutions or imposition of any sanctions against India. And there the matter rests. Unfortunately, this is the reality of the world today, that gradually the major powers have become brazen-faced in violation of Charter and international law itself, as happened in the case of attack on Iraq by USA and its allies, because they wanted a resolution by the Security Council to invade Iraq on the pretext that they were developing weapons of mass destruction. But there were some major powers like Russia and France who also enjoyed veto power. They said, we are not going to support this resolution. So America, with its allies, invaded Iraq without the resolution of the Security Council. And in fact, the then Secretary General of the UN, Kofi Annan, said this is an illegal war.
Absolutely.
But they never bothered.
Now, look, coming over to the Gaza issue, at the moment you see a lot of bloodshed. And all over protests in the world, not only from the Muslims, but even from the Israeli Jews in America. They are protesting. Millions and millions of people are on the streets. But Israel is unmoved. What do you see? Because I have read also that some of the people said in America that we will not give vote to Biden if we continue to support Israel in this case. Because no chances of ceasefire. No chances of ceasefire. Bombing the hospitals, bombing schools, bombing mosques. Don't you think it is against the violation of Geneva Convention?
Definitely. As a matter of fact, what Israel is doing in Gaza is the first and most barbaric form of genocide. And Israel being an occupying force in Gaza, under international law, they cannot undertake such actions. And according to laws of wars, civilians cannot be attacked. Of course, if they're attacking a military target, then there can be some collateral damage. But in this case, they are directly aiming schools and hospitals, and even UN offices have been attacked. And in fact, the word conscience is definitely pricked. But unfortunately, the only superpower at the moment, that is the USA, it is fully supporting Israeli.
One superpower is busy in Ukraine.
Yes.
The other superpower is busy in Gaza.
True.
They're supporting Israel.
True.
And you see, this world is for the might is right.
True.
So at the moment, the situation is very fluid. Mm-hmm. What do you see that after this entire bloodshed, because lot many injuries, lot many deaths would come surface after a few times, because we are not sure how many people. At the moment, they say 9,000 something or 10,000 Palestinians have martyred.
Perhaps it's more.
But it is more, I think,
Definitely.
because many are still under the rubbles. Many are still under the debris of these buildings.
Correct.
So, yet to come out. Now, do you see that the present war would also affect the American elections?
Naturally, it will have some impact. But then you must realize that in the USA, the Israeli lobby is so strong that hardly any politician dare speak against Israel, whether it is in the executive branch or the Congress. most people just toe the line of Israel. But I think that at least OIC, they have so many members, states, who are also party to the...
They have condemned the...
They've just condemned.
Yes.
But the fact is that some of them are party to the Charter of International Criminal Court. And they should at least make a formal request to the prosecutor there that Netanyahu should be prosecuted for war crimes, crimes against humanity, genocide.
But they say that Israel has not signed that agreement.
It may not have. Like in the case of Sudan, the president of Sudan was arraigned by the prosecutor of International Criminal Court. And of course, when he was in power, nobody could touch him. And he even traveled abroad. But that is a different thing.
But International Criminal Court also, declared this Putin also as...
Yes, but why can't they declare Netanyahu as...
Absolutely, there should be. Now, sir, do you see any chances of spreading of this war all over the Middle East?
Of course, people are very careful that it should not spread.
But you see any attempt on the part of the Israel to conquer by force this Gaza and to displace all the Palestinians or the Hamas from there, do you think it will definitely be a catalyst for war spreading all over the Middle East?
Yes, but I think if they thought it is feasible, they would have done it. The only thing is that Hamas, over these years, they have developed a system of tunnels, and once or twice they've tried to enter Gaza, and they've come back, the Israelis. I've seen
because of the casualties,
people coming out of these tunnels and placing bombs on the tanks.
Absolutely.
So it's not that easy.
It's not that simple.
A piece of cake for them.
And one thing is very good. I think because of this war, you see, Mr. Hania, he's visited Iran.
Yes.
So no, and Iranians have visited Kuwait and other countries. So you see this kind of polarization between Shias and Sunnis. This is a positive sign that they are all together against Israel.
That is true.
That's good. Good thing you believe is going to help.
Thing, yes.
So do you see the Hezbollah is also going to have a full-fledged attack?
It can. But the thing is, only Hezbollah jumping in the war would not possibly lead to a third world war. But if Iran does, then there's a possibility of third world war.
That's right. So in the end, we see that you see lot many casualties, lot many young children, babies. They have been killed in the hospitals. Doctor, paramedic staff have been killed. Media men have been killed because of this indiscriminate bombing by the Israel. What does it show? Does that show that they want to teach a lesson to the Hamas?
Actually, they want to finish Hamas. They've declared it so. But how do they finish it? If the Hamas comes out in the open and confront Israeli forces, only then they can finish it. But they are operating in an urban guerrilla warfare, which is very difficult to handle. And for the time being, I don't think Israel has a solution to that. And already America recently promoted the concept of a pause in war. If not ceasefire, they have said that there should be a pause in war so that there can be humanitarian aid and all that.
America says that America believes in two-nation solution, right? But on the contrary, what America is doing is that is supporting fully Israel. If, they say it is self-defense by Israel. वो कहते हैं हमने तो जी इतना दिफाई स्ट्रेटजी इख्तियार की, हम पर हमला किया गया. वो ये एक स्टेटमेंट दे रहे हैं, ये बयान लेते हैं, इसमें रिफ्यूज ले रहे हैं कि जी हम पर हमला किया गया, तो लिहाजा अगर हम पर हमला किया गया तो हम सेल्फ डिफेंस रखते हैं. तो जो इससे पहले आप हमले करते रहे हैं आके, तो वो वाज दैट आल्सो सेल्फ डिफेंस? सो ये सर एक चीज़ जो मैं देख रहा हूँ इसमें आके कि ओवरऑल ये जो जिन लोगों ने कुर्बानियाँ दी हैं, बच्चे जो उनके शहीद हुए हैं, और मैं समझता हूँ दे आर नॉट लीविंग गाज़ा, दे प्रेफर टू डाई बट दे वर नॉट गोइंग टू फ्री फ्रॉम द गाज़ा. That reflects their resolution, that reflects their determination, courage to face the reality.
Actually, you might have noted that the Secretary General has also observed that Hamas attack did not happen in a vacuum. And on this Israeli ambassador reacted very strongly, and he said that Secretary General should resign. But he is not open, but it shows clearly that Hamas was forced into this. As a matter of fact, if you go back in history, when this concept of terrorism evolved in the UN circles, there were a number of UN General Assembly resolutions which said that the root cause of terrorism is alien domination, foreign occupation. And here the root cause of this violence is Israel itself. As a matter of fact, as you refer to this two-state solution to which America is also a party, and the Oslo Accord also envisaged a two-state solution. And incidentally, once I was in New York and I was watching this New York Channel 1, and there was a debate going on, and one of the participants was an Israeli, another was American, another was Palestinian, and so on. There were 4 or 5 participants. And the Palestinians said that we tell them that when I was born in Palestine, the whole of Palestine, and that was my country. Now we say you give us only 13% of the territory of that state and there can be peace. And they're not ready to do that.
Absolutely.
So that is the problem. They are killing the two-state solution by building settlements which are illegal under the laws of war according to the Geneva Convention. And there's a number of resolutions of the Security Council condemning these settlements. Even America today says that they are illegal. Although they do not say clearly they are illegal, but they say they should be discouraged and they should be discontinued.
Very right. And many images all over the world against this atrocities by Israel, not only in Europe, in America, in all Arab countries, in Pakistan also. Yes. That reflect that we have all out support for the Palestinians. Though the Palestinians, children, families, they have lost their kith and kin, they have lost their siblings, but yet do you expect that after this war, because there is always a dialogue after war, it happens, it's the history. So there will be a chance for the two-nation state?
I think so, because that is the only solution. They cannot continue this policy of grabbing Palestinian lands, evicting them, throwing them out of their houses, and building Jewish settlements there. There has to be an end to it. Otherwise, there can be no peace, to my mind.
Thank you very much, Mr. Masud.
Thank you very much.
Nice meeting you. Nice talking to you.
Thank you.
नाज़रीन, ये थे रास मसूद साहब. हमने अपने महदूद से वक्त में कोशिश तो की है कि किसी तरीके से जो फ़लस्तीन का जो इशू इस वक्त है, गाज़ा का, जिसने पूरी दुनिया को इस वक्त अपनी लपेट में ले रखा है, ना सिर्फ लपेट में बल्कि आप देखें कि यूक्रेन की वार को भी उसने एक्लिप्स कर दिया टोटली. और अब तमाम तर मुसलमानों की दुनिया में, और ना सिर्फ मुसलमानों की बल्कि जहाँ जहाँ ख्वाह वो किसी भी नेशनलिटी से ताल्लुक़ है, दे आर ऑल ऑन द स्ट्रीट्स अगेंस्ट दिस वॉर एंड दे वांट दैट देयर शुड बी सीज़ फायर. ये जो एक कत्लेआम है फ़लस्तीनियों का, इसको बंद किया जाए, जंग बंदी की जाए. लेट्स होप कि अल्लाह ताला फ़लस्तीनियों के लिए आसानी करे और इस वार में जो कुछ खोया है उसके बाद उन्हें अमन मिले और 2 जो नेशन सोल्यूशन है वो उसमें कामयाब हो जाए। इसके साथ ही अपने होस्ट अब्दुल बासित खान को इजाज़त दीजिए। अल्लाह हाफ़िज़।